So see, this is my screen and this is my database. Okay. So when I enter some data here, that data will go and save into the database. And when I wanted to retrieve it, so for example, if I wanted to see, I will click on that record. Once that click on that record, it will show all the details. So from where it is getting from the database. So from screen to database, database to screen. This is the logic actually. So for doing this thing, for the data to go from screen to the database and to save, there is something called order of execution. Okay, so all the application have this concept called order of execution. So let me explain you order of execution Salesforce. Okay, so all the application has this. Yeah, so you can remove this thing. Original record is loaded from the database, that you can remove. First thing is system validation. So here you see I am giving some value. I'm giving some value. For example, I'm going to the account and I am clicking on new. I'm going to give some record details. Okay, going to give some details. Uh, I'm filling the mandatory fields test. Okay, so whatever it is in red in color, that is called mandatory. Okay, consider I'm not giving it. I'm giving rating. I'm giving phone number. I'm giving fax. I'm giving website test.com, some website, and I'm giving type. Okay, and I am giving industry, everything I'm giving, and I'm trying to save the record. So it throws the error. You must enter a value. This error I did not give. It is automatically available. That is called as the system validation. Okay, that is called as the system validation. So that is done. So next, what we have, uh, I need to enter the email, right? So I will not give it in proper format. So I'm giving in some other format. Okay. So I'm trying to save. See, invalid email address. This is not the validation rule that I gave. Okay. This validation rule I did not give, but it is coming. How it is coming? Because of this system validation. System already has certain validation rules. Okay. So first it will be checking this validation rules. System validation rule. Okay. That is what happening here. System validation rule. After the system validation rule, then I will give at gmail.com some valid format, that is at the rate plus .com, that I need to give, and I need to click on save. Then what happens is, then the annual revenue should not be empty. This is the validation rule that I gave, that we gave. Okay, here. This is called custom validation. Custom validation means user created validation. So this one is executing. So now system validation part is done. Okay, we don't have before trigger, so we don't have any triggers to execute. Then custom validation is happening. Okay, so then what it does is executes in between. Also, you have many things. So there is a thing called duplicate rule. When we go to that point, we will see. So then it saves the data to the database, but it did not commit. Did not commit means final save. So if it simply saves means any time it can roll back. Okay, roll back means it can revert it. Okay, so it saves the record into the database, but it did not commit. Commit means final save, complete save. Okay, after that it will execute after trigger, assignment rule, auto response rule, workflow rule, and everything, and then only finally it commits all the record. After committing it, we need to do post commit logic, that is sending email, notifying someone, that is the thing is happening. So when I wanted to enter the data and put it into the database, there is a big operation that is carried in between the screen and the database, that is called order of execution. Order of execution first checks system validation, then before trigger, then custom validation, then after trigger. Okay, then what it does is it check the duplicate rule. So duplicate rule is nothing but, we will see that what is duplicate rule and why it is used, no problem. And after that, what it does is it saves the data but not commit. Why means it needs to check after insert trigger. Okay, workflow. Then what it checks is assignment rule, auto response rule. So after that, what it does is it commits the data into database. See, consider if some point in before trigger it is throwing error, the order of execution will stop at that point. Then it will not go further. Okay. Consider if it shows in the after trigger. Okay. So it stops. It will not go further. Okay. Con Consider at the last it is throwing error in the auto response rule. If it is throwing error in the auto response rule, then the commit will not happen, then everything will be rolled back. So my screen, the data that I am entering should go to the database, means it needs to follow these things. That is called order of execution. Okay. So here also it comes here, the second logic, and it checks line by line. If what the user is given and is given and operator, so it will check. Okay, first thing is if is there and is there, and in and what are the criteria he gave three criteria, 1 2 3. So it will check whether 3 is satisfied or not. Rating hot, yes, rating is hot. And annual revenue is blank, no, annual revenue is not blank. Then in that case it will not go and check the third criteria. What it will do is it will return false and it will come out of the loop. Understood? Clear?
Yes. Yes.
Any doubts you have in order of execution? The order of execution is very, very important. All the technology, all the applications will have this concept called order of execution when you go for Java, .NET, anything. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me.
That what we are giving here, that is comes under custom validation, right? That's
Yeah,
why
it comes
line by
under.
line it will come, right?
Yeah, it will come. It comes under custom validation. So if you, before
Okay, okay.
committing the data into the database, if anywhere any error comes, means it will completely roll back. Okay, it will not put the data into the database. Okay, final, after committing the data, it needs to do post commit logic. That is, post commit logic means you may have written some logic to send email or notify someone. Okay, so that and all will be executed after saving the data into the database. This is how the system works. This is how Salesforce works based on the order of execution. Okay, any doubts? Anyone?
No, clear.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, fine. So now see, simply I said it should not be empty, right? Now what we can do is the annual revenue should be greater than 50,000. Okay, so I will go for another validation rule. Okay, so back to validation rules, new validation rule, and you can see annual revenue uh, not less than 50,000. Okay, so I need to give a criteria like uh, first I need to insert the field annual revenue. Okay, greater than, less than 50,000. So what I have given is annual revenue less than 50,000. That means if it is less than 50,000, if the user is entering some value that is less than 50,000, then this condition is satisfied and it will throw error. Okay, clear? So revenue should not be less than 50,000. Okay, so annual revenue. So save. Now I have two conditions for both annual revenue field itself. I have two conditions. One is it should not be empty, and another one is it should not be less than 50,000. Okay, so if I'm entering 30,000, 30,000 is less than 50,000, so annual revenue should not be less than 50,000. What happens? So now it will go to first validation rule. It will choose one validation rule, and it will go and it will check this. Okay, whether the validation rule is correct. Yeah, it is correct. Means it annual revenue is not, they are not giving blank. Okay, you return false, and it will come out of this validation rule. Then it will go to this validation rule. In this validation rule, what happens? The annual revenue is less than 50,000. It will check 30,000 less than 50,000. Yes, the condition is satisfied. Then it will throw this error message. Okay, clear?
So we can write second logic in first validation
Yeah,
rule.
we can write that one. I will tell you that, because if I first itself, if I write means it will confuse you. Understood?
Yeah, okay.
The first shot itself, if I write means it will confuse you. Okay, that's why I wanted to do this. Okay, so now here, instead of is blank, what I can do is I can put like annual revenue that field. Okay, instead of typing the field, it is good to take the field from here, because we don't know the we don't know the API name properly, right? Annual revenue less than 30,000. Like that I can give a condition. Okay, less than 50,000. If I give a condition, then it will work. If I am giving value less than 50,000, or if I'm giving empty value, it will throw the error. You can modify the error message like not empty and not less than 50,000. Like that you can give. Okay, clear? Any doubts?
Yes,
Yeah, so like that also you can give. So with this we can stop the session. Okay, see, please practice these things, so everything will come through practice only. The amount of time that you spend and you type and or you write and see the logic, it depends, it counts. Okay, so that you will get more clarity. Syntax and all you should be very clear, because the one thing is that is very important is syntax. It is like ABCD. So you should be very clear in a language. If you wanted to learn any language, you need to be clear with the syntaxes. It is like an alphabet for a language. So please concentrate on syntaxes, and you practice more. Okay, we'll see tomorrow. Okay, thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Surya.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, yeah.
Thank you. Bye.